We're back with our friend Paul Oren of the Northwest Indiana Times. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
They scheduled the tournament around his birthday this year. So
Someone's
that Paul
cutting
can
down the
celebrate.
nets to celebrate me and go into the NCAA tournament.
Those two things.
Yeah, those two things, yes. But I will be a big part of nothing.
Listen, your Valpo team got a win and then bowed out. But second year in the league for Valparaiso. So I want to ask you two questions all at the same time. How is Valpo adjusting, number one? And number two, now 2 times through the league for you. What's your view of the Valley and just all the the things you've walked through?
Well, great question. First with Valpo, I think you saw their freshman Javon Freeman Liberty play excellent in against Indiana State, and competed hard against Loyola. And he is a Valley type player, right? About half the roster was recruited to play in the Horizon League, and about half the roster was recruited to play in the Valley. And I know that a lot of people think, well, shouldn't you be recruiting the best players all the time anyway? But I think being in the Valley opens up some doors that maybe weren't open before. And so I think Valpo's getting in those doors, and they're finishing. They're getting some guys. They've got another really good kid from Alton coming in, Donovan Clay, next year. So I think Valpo's going to have Valley players. And the more Valley players they have, as opposed to Horizon players, and it's a little bit of a difference. And the more Valley players they get, the better they're going to be. Valpo will not play on Thursday next year. I would say that right. They will not play on Thursday next year.
I don't think so either.
And if they do, well, I don't know what I'll do, but I'm telling you they won't play on Thursday. They're going to be very good. They're going to be very good next year. And now, going through the league a second year, I mean, how great is this tournament, right? I feel bad because all the people that I'm associated with Valpo, they all, a lot of them go home. And I've stayed because what could be better than this great game today between two teams that probably they thought they'd be here. Nobody else thought they'd be here. It's going to be exciting. You're going to see Bradley go to the NCAA tournament for the first time in forever, or you're going to see Northern Iowa become the first number 6 seed ever to win this tournament. So I think it's going to be exciting either way. I've loved every town I visited, every community, every fan base. I spent some time, probably too late into the evening, with the Illinois State fans the other day. They're fun. They're passionate. Yes, and I was walking around the building the other day, and I happened to find those people again during the game that they ultimately lost to Drake, and they're passionate, they're fun, they're a good group. I didn't necessarily like some of the passion I saw coming from some of the fans who were screaming at their coaches and everything, but at the same time, I thought that, how great is the fan bases that come out here? It's a lot of fun. I love this. I love everything about the Valley. It's great.
We're both big fans of the Missouri Valley Conference. Let's talk a little bit about this game today. I think this is going to be such a unique matchup of how do the pace of the game and which players can step up their game. Just a few thoughts about today's game.
Yeah, so A.J. Green has been quiet the first.
And Darryl Brown has too.
And Darryl Brown has too. So A.J. Green, other than hitting the game winner against Southern Illinois, has not really been the guy that we expect him to be. It's a lot of pressure for a freshman, but this could be the beginning of a really long run of Arch Madness success for this guy, right? I mean, he's excellent, and also Wyatt Lohaus. I mean, what he did. 27 points, including the game winner. So Northern Iowa, they shouldn't be here in the eyes of. They're a 6 seed, but they're here. And Bradley beat Loyola, and Bradley now is a 5 seed, and they've got to wear their home uniforms. Right. How crazy is that?
And the story, they get to wear the white unis.
Yeah, and obviously you've got Darryl Brown, and around tournament time into the NCAA tournament, if you have a dynamic guard, you've got half the battle fought for you right there. They've got some experience as well. They've got, D'Lo is such a fun player. Mm-hmm. Elijah Child's such a fun player. But the guy that I really like is Nate Cannell. And 5 3-pointers yesterday. I like when he gets the ball in his hand, he starts breathing really heavy. Just the look on his, the demented look on his face. Yeah, he's fun. And if he's got the legs today, I think he could be a big X factor in this game.
It's always tournament time is so fun. You watch guys, and Burhow was doing nothing about the last 3 or 4 games of the year for Northern Iowa, and all of a sudden he's having a great tournament. We talked about A.J. Green and Darryl Brown. Neither of them have scored. Brown is like 2 for 10 from deep and like 6 for 20 shooting it. I mean, he's had a bad statistical tournament, and yet I think Elijah Childs is the rising star in this league. He's a double-double guy. If they can get somebody else to play the post a little bit and he can be a 4 or whatever, I think he's a handful.
He, sadly, we said goodbye to Phil Fain as he's graduated, or he's moved on from Illinois State after they got eliminated. And Elijah Childs, to me, may be the next big power forward in this league. The next guy so I think he's gonna have a huge impact on the game, because I wonder about size for Northern Iowa. Obviously, they're banged up and hurt this year. They don't have Austin Fife, but Pickford has not been 100%. But that's a guy to look for, is maybe Taiwan Pickford, who is somebody who when the chips are down, he's a player. And you like him, and Dahl had such a good game against Southern Illinois and didn't do much yesterday. So there's intriguing matchups all across the board. As we were talking right before we went on, they split during the regular season, each winning at each other's building. So I don't know what to glean from that, other than this should be a really fun basketball game. And it's been, I think the games we thought were going to be really exciting were kind of dull in this tournament, and the games that Loyola's going to win, Drake's going to win, and wow, Bradley and Northern Iowa really stepped up.
We said before the tournament started, this is going to be the most wide open. We don't know what's going to happen, but we really did think Loyola was going to win. But there were going to be tight games, and there would be some upsets. And no, it really is wide open, just like we all were saying it was.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when you say that, it's going to be a wide open league, and then we get a 5-6 title game, and everyone seems shocked. Well, we all knew it was going to be wide open, but we all kind of suspected it would probably be Loyola. And if McGlynn doesn't get hurt, that's the tough part. If McGlynn doesn't get hurt, Drake, man, the Murphy twins, I covered them in high school. Those guys, they're going to be players here. So Drake's not going away anytime soon.
It's going to be a fun afternoon here at the Enterprise Center. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking it over with Brendan Weesey of the Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis. He's been broadcasting a bunch of the games for the local fans, and we'll get his perspective as well. You're watching Voices of the Valley here on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.